Here's what President Donald Trump had to say about Bad Bunny's halftime show. He called the show, quote, absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. Bad Bunny's performance featured stars including Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. He also delivered a unifying message, expanding the meaning of God Bless America to include all nations of the Americas, from Chile to Canada. Trump said it was a slap in the face and, quote, nobody understands a word the Puerto Rican rapper was saying. Trump's criticism comes just a week after Bad Bunny's historic win at the Grammys, where his album became the first Spanish-language record to take home Album of the Year.
I ain't even gonna lie, I'm not even Spanish, and I'm disappointed in all you niggas. I'm disappointed in you niggas, man. Y'all corny-ass, lame reactions to the halftime show, acting like y'all not fucking with it because it wasn't your favorite art. Leave that to the white people. Leave that to the racist people in the world who don't fuck with our culture, black or brown. We all the same. Y'all don't see what's going on with all Hispanic people? They going through ICE, all that crazy racism shit that we went through, they going through it right now. Right now, we got to support them more than ever. And if that means going to a fucking halftime show and dancing to some lyrics you don't fucking know, then do it. But don't be corny acting like you ain't fuck with that. That's lame as fuck to me. I fuck with the halftime show. And y'all need to do better as a culture and as a people. Y'all want people to help us, but we don't want to help everybody else. And they support us too. Do better.
The fuck is this? I don't understand a fucking word this dude is saying. The Super Bowl really fucked this one up. What the fuck? The best part of this Super Bowl is the girls shaking their ass. But then again, I mean, the whole fucking Super Bowl's been trash. It's a game of battle of the punters. Hey, look, he's saying more shit that I don't understand. Who the fuck chose this guy for the goddamn Super Bowl? Epic fail. The NFL failed us. Whoever chooses the fucking performer failed us. Horrible. Throw this shit in the trash. They ain't cheering because you're on stage good. They're cheering to get your ass off the stage and bring back the players. The fuck is this?
I feel so lucky. It's embarrassing that I cried, but I'm so thankful to Cosina for bringing me, and also just like this entire experience has been amazing and incredible, and it's just like Lady Gaga, Ricky Martin, like hello, but like Benito was so good, and it just means a lot because I know how special he is to so many people, and like just representation matters, and I think that was so fucking awesome. And I'm so gay for crying, but that was so cool, and I'm so thankful for this privilege to be here.
Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show. Just finished watching it. Here's my analysis. Now, normally we're breaking down and critiquing hip hop on this page, but Super Bowl halftime show is America in general, so let's talk about it. First and foremost, I have to say, in terms of set design from Kendrick Lamar and Bad Bunny got it, bro. Set design was amazing, immaculate. I loved it. Even the transitions through different sets, amazing. Secondly, the imagery. I'm not Puerto Rican, but I can still appreciate the imagery throughout the entire performance, even down to the dancers showcasing Afro Puerto Ricans to light skins, showing all shades of Puerto Rican people. That was beautiful to see. Thirdly, last but not least, I saw a lot of people before the show saying, oh, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not going to know what he's saying. I didn't know what he said either, but I understand music. Music is vibes, bro. You don't got to know what somebody is saying to enjoy it and understand what energy that person is putting out. And that was a great halftime show. Beautiful energy. I love even the walk in and the walk out, showcasing, you know, how he has Puerto Rico on his back, and he's putting on for Puerto Rico and Latinos in general. It was beautiful. I'm going to go run it back again, see if I missed anything. What's y'all take? Leave a comment below.
The same people that say not everything is about race, stop talking about race so much, are also the same people that willingly got up, picked up their TV remote, changed the channel to the shitty Turning Point USA halftime show, All-American halftime show, just so they didn't have to see a man of color for 20 minutes on their TV screen speaking in Spanish. So yes, clearly everything is about race to them. And when they get called out about it, it makes them uncomfortable. So their defense mechanism is, not everything is about race. We just want to support Americans. When Puerto Rico was literally colonized by America by force. Also, I'm sorry, this proves that everything clearly is about race. It is. There have been numerous white people from other countries that have performed at the Super Bowl that have never faced any issues. There's never been any controversy that they weren't American. The second, a man of color speaking in a different language who is American gets up on that Super Bowl stage, then there's a problem, even though he's American? When all the other white performers who were not American, who were Canadian or from the UK, there's never been an issue. It does all just come down to racism and race. Thank you for proving that, conservatives. Thank you for proving what we already knew. So next time someone tries to tell you it's not all about race, remind them that they went through all that effort just so they didn't have to look at a man of color for 20 minutes on their screen.
I can't believe it. We're like 18 hours removed, and they're still complaining about the Super Bowl halftime show starring Bad Bunny. They're still complaining about it. And here's the thing that I think is funniest about it. The people complaining about it, like actually calling out things that happened on the halftime show starring Bad Bunny, they're calling out actual things that happened, things that you could see, which tells me they watched it. And that makes me wonder, well then why did you want a Turning Point USA halftime show? I thought you were going to watch that one. I thought you didn't want to watch the Puerto Rican gentleman sing in Spanish on the Super Bowl. See, my mom used to have this thing she would say to me every once in a while. She would say, JD, you would bitch if you were hung by a new rope. And that is a very boomer way of saying, you just need something to complain about, don't you? And I think that's what it is with those Turning Point USA types. They just need something to complain about. And based on what I saw from their little halftime show, is that's all they did was cry, bitch, and moan the whole time. Every time somebody got on a microphone, this for America, real American values. You people are a parody. Get over yourselves. Anyway, I just thought it was funny that they've spent all day bitching about the Super Bowl halftime show, but spent very little time talking about how awesome they thought their Clanchella was.
Super Bowl halftime show data tells a completely different story than the outrage I'm seeing online. Within hours of the performance last night, Bad Bunny's catalog saw one of the strongest halftime-driven streaming spikes we've seen in years. Across platforms, multiple tracks jumped roughly 40 to 60% in a single day, with tens of millions of additional streams almost immediately. And that's the part no one arguing online wants to really talk about. The people who didn't like the show were pretty loud about it. The people who did weren't trying to convince anyone per se. And this keeps happening because what we're really seeing is that American listening habits are already global. They're already multilingual. They're already comfortable outside a narrow idea of what mainstream is. You could see that intentionality on stage. Lady Gaga choosing to perform a salsa-style version of Die With a Smile was not random. It worked because pop music has been absorbing Latin rhythm for decades. Madonna did something similar when she reworked Dress You Up and Into the Groove on the Rebel Heart tour like 10 years ago. And it worked then too. And Gaga wasn't an arbitrary choice either. Obviously, Bad Bunny has been referencing her for years. He literally name checks her in I Like It with Cardi B and J Balvin. And that's not nostalgia, that's just continuity on his part. So the difference now is that the NFL didn't translate the performance or soften it or explain it for an English-speaking audience. They just treated the performance as a very self-contained entity. And to put scale on it, the halftime show reached well over 100 million viewers worldwide. By comparison, the alternative cultural moments like Turning Point USA's halftime show, people keep pointing to operate at a completely different scale, usually in the hundreds of thousands inside their own ecosystem. And as a small aside, when someone performs at one of those events wearing a Louis Vuitton shirt, whether intentional or not, it's worth remembering that one of the world's most influential fashion houses is French. Brantley Gilbert likely is buying his own clothes, and I doubt that Louis Vuitton dressed him themselves or even a stylist did. In the unlikely chance they did, as Countess Luann once aptly said, even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes. But for a performer participating in counter-programming that's all American, any way you slice it, it kind of goes against everything they were there to do. So in any case, maybe the real question isn't whether the halftime show went too far. Maybe it's whether our definition of American culture is already behind the data, because there's a lot of proof in the pudding. And even if someone or some people don't want to own what the numbers are telling us, it's very much right in front of them.
I don't know who Bad Bunny is for the Super Bowl, and I didn't really know who Kendrick Lamar was either. And somehow Jay-Z has gotten these seemingly government no-bid entertainment contracts with the Super Bowl. And nothing against Jay-Z, but Kathy White. I get it. They're trying to get a younger audience to view the Super Bowl, but you have to ask if that's the right strategy. I mean, look at what they're advertising. First off, those advertisers are spending millions of dollars to advertise the Super Bowl for things like Volvo and Rocket Mortgage. I mean, can that generation afford a new house or a new luxury car? Probably not. But you know who does have that disposable income? Gen X. I mean, think about it. We've been forgotten when it comes to these Super Bowl things for a long time now. And not to mention, there's never been country artists. Like, can you imagine if George Strait gave a performance? Or if Garth Brooks was up there? I mean, sure, according to the internet, if Garth Brooks performed, there'd be a string of unalivings in the area. You get my point. If you cater to Gen X or the boomers or people with the disposable income, we will view the Super Bowl, and they can charge a lot more to their advertising. Let me know your thoughts.
So I've never really listened to Bad Bunny, but that halftime show was insane. Like, the whole time I was like, beautifully done, very energetic, fun, got me excited. 10 out of 10, my favorite halftime show so far ever. And then as a Mexican, I thought it was really fun and cool seeing like little hints of, Latin culture. Like the one that I loved was seeing the little boy sleeping on the chairs when it was like the party. If you're Mexican or Latino growing up, you've ended up sleeping at a party before. Sorry, gotta go.
I didn't watch either halftime show because it's not about the art or the music. It's just another thing they want people to disagree on. And while you guys were stressed and arguing about who's performing at the Super Bowl, I'm over here nervous that every firework is actually the start of World War III. Did we all just forget about the Epstein files already? It would just be so nice if we could stop the whole left and right and just get back to an awesome halftime show. We have had way too many amazing, amazing Super Bowls to ruin it and tarnish it with all this hate. The government hates all of us. Have a good night.
Bad Bunny took the stage for the Super Bowl halftime show and showed off his culture and his music. And while that was the best part of the entire show, you really felt like you were taken back to Puerto Rico. And not only that, he had some familiar faces in the crowd, some surprise guest performances, and closed off with a message. To my much complete surprise, Lady Gaga was performing, which I personally didn't feel like it made sense for the performance because I thought this was going to be an all Latino performance, but that's okay. Ricky Martin definitely did his thing and that was amazing. And during the dance break, this is where we saw a lot of familiar faces, and like Lady Gaga, I also didn't understand Alex Earl's presence, but that's just me. But there were also Cardi B, Jessica Alba, hit it with the Spanish accent,
Karol G, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. We were trying to figure out who else was there, so if you noticed anybody else, please let me know. I'm also let my bestie from Guatemala take this.
Also, you saw Toñita. She was in a little house. She handed him a pitorro, which is a little shot of añejo.
I don't know what any of that is. By far, my absolute favorite part was seeing the Latino family watching him win his Grammy and him passing it on to the next generation, saying he's opening the doors for other Latinos to do the same. I loved this part. Bestie's favorite part was
when he paid homage to the old school reggaeton from Puerto Rico, Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, Tego Calderon. That was my favorite part.
He closed it off in the best way possible by showcasing all the flags from USA, Canada, all the Latino countries, and displaying displayed the message that he gave at the Grammys during his speech, saying the only thing more powerful than hate is love, and showcased a football that said, "Together, we are America." And that is how you perform at the Super Bowl, Mr.
Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio.
Correct.
Didn't have to know one word of Spanish to appreciate what Bad Bunny just did at the Super Bowl. That was an absolutely electric performance. Like, everything about it, like, visually, it was so engaging. So many times, the halftime show is just somebody up on a stage, right? Just working the crowd a little bit, but they're on a stage just moving. They had an entire set from the fields to the electric lines to the little town that they had set up with the stores, and he's getting a drink and everybody's out there dancing in the street. He's walking past people playing cards. I mean, it was just such a cool thing to see. And then at the end, when he said, "God bless America," God bless America. And then he named off every country in the Americas, because America is not just the United States. We have to start understanding that as Americans, it's not just about us all the time. The Americas is North and South, and he named every single country. That has to be, regardless of if you like him or not, one of the better, if not the best, halftime show the NFL has ever had.
I'm honored to share the stage with Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl, and I'm thrilled.
These were some celebrities' reactions to Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. Let's get into it. Starting off with Lady Gaga. She posted her performance on Instagram with a very heartfelt caption. She says, "It was my absolute honor to be a part of Benito's halftime show. Thank you, Benito, for inviting me, and thank you to the entire cast for welcoming me on your stage. I wouldn't miss it for the world." God, I love this woman. The halftime show was that good that Elmo made a tweet about it. He says, "That bunny was amazing. Elmo thinks he should be called Good Bunny. Elmo loves you, Mr. Good Bunny." This was so cute. Oh my god. Casey Musgraves has my favorite one of all. She says, "Well, that made me feel more proudly American than anything Kid Rock had ever done. Point blank, period." Raw Alejandro tweeted, "Puerto Rico." Doechii tweeted, "Bad Bunny, wow. I fucking wow. History." Same girl, same. Gavin Newsom tweeted, "America, the beautiful. Thank you, Bad Bunny." Camila Cabello posted herself watching the show with a very heartfelt message. The translation says, "That's right. Long live our beautiful Latin culture. And congratulations, Benito." Charlie Puth said, "Also, Bad Bunny was incredible. Good night." Charlie devoured the national anthem. Leve said, "I love music. Music is a universal language. Couldn't have said it better myself." Her said, "Emotional performance. Wow." Because no one can ever top Bad Bunny's performance. This man is history, and this man is an icon.
Arabia, you understood all the words for every song?
Yes, and one thing that I want to talk about with one of his most popular songs is Yo Ferreo Sola, which basically is supposed to be this woman's empowerment song, like I twerk alone and I do this thing alone. I don't club a lot, but when y'all do go to the club, I don't like that women only dancing with women or dancing by themselves. Like back in the day when we had basement parties and it was hot and sweating and dark, you would go to dance with somebody. But now it seems like women just want to dance with women and men just want to post up on the side with a drink and some diamonds. Like, what happened to dancing with each other? So this whole Yo Ferreo Sola, like I get it, like the overall message of it, but when we go to the club, let's get back to dancing. It's just way more fun. Now everybody too cool for school want to be in a section.
I'm gonna be honest with you real quick, and I like that statement. And Mike, see, you didn't know Arabia was bilingual. She fucked you up with that. Real, yeah, she says, yeah, you like that? Yeah, Mike. Real quick, I'm gonna say this, right? But to Arabia's last break, I never was a big dancer, and you know what's crazy with these basement parties that you talk about, a hole in the walls and all of that? My nigga Zeke is in the building, and Mace is here. Mace actually lived in this place on 116th. One of the places. I don't know, and right downstairs, we used to go downstairs around the corner. It was a little
Jamaican.
Yeah, Jamaican joint right over the cab base. And it was one of these hole in the walls. And I wasn't a big dancer. I couldn't dance. Mace could dance, and I couldn't dance. I ain't talking about like Mace was like one of these new niggas. I'm talking about like male dancing like one of them. He knew how to two-step. But to Arabia's point, I would be against the wall the whole party and just be looking until the Jamaican music came on, or Uncle Luke, because all I had to do was hump on somebody for that kind of music. Yeah, when the Jamaican come on, I act like I know what I'm talking about. I'll be like this. When that shit come on, I'm doing like this. Sorry is all that you can. I swear I'll do it. And then I would hear Uncle Luke, "Don't stop, pop that pussy." Then all you gotta do is this. Doodle Brown. Like those are my side. You brought a flashback to me real quick when you said the old one. Right downstairs from Mace's house we used to go. Mace half.
That was crazy though. But
what was crazy, Mace?
Doodle Brown and all that.
Oh, well, blame Uncle Luke. No, he was just looking for revenge because during the break, he said some wild shit, man. But okay. Real quick, Donald Trump, being that we're talking about the gatekeepers, the ICE, the performance, he said this is the worst performance ever. It's our country. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting.
Damn.
I'm not laughing at Bad Bunny or the Spanish community. I'm supporting it. But this nigga Trump just don't give a fuck about nothing, bro. But I will end saying this, that Chris Brown also tweeted, it's safe to say that y'all need me. So, shout out to Bad Bunny. Shout out to Chris Brown. Shout out to the NFL for putting halftime shows together.
I'm yet to see this, so I'll be reacting to this in real time. So let's go ahead and do it. Yo, was that Pedro? Was that Pedro in the crowd? See, they got all the lyrics going on in the background, so the gringos can read along, which is cool. I appreciate that. Also, I like his outfit a lot. Kind of that like cream-colored football jersey with the tie. It's very sort of like oldie time sport Ralph Lauren catalog energy. I appreciate it. Aw, good for them. That's bragging rights for life. Getting married at the Super Bowl? At Bad Bunny's Super Bowl? That's bragging rights for life. Lady Gaga? Okay, wow. I knew she was coming, but I didn't know she was going to pop out. Let's go. Yes, Lady Gagita. In this show, let's go. I didn't know Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance was going to involve fixing Die With a Smile, like one of the most boringly produced pop songs to ever top the charts in years. Now we're getting a salsa version and it rocks. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bad Bunny. Thank you. You know, I apologize to Man Rock, who really did, kill it vocally during the TPUSA performance. This is a much better live vocal that we're hearing here. Maybe it wasn't that much competition to begin with, but Lady Gagita is very much outperforming Man Rock.
Thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for sharing, and for more videos, stay tuned and hit the subscribe button. See you on next video. Thank you very much. Well, this is Khalifa Steven.